Hey everyone, this is Kevin with Divinely Designed, and I have a paper crafting video. This is sort of a complimentary video to a soap making video I just did. The soap making video made some soap cupcakes, so if you're interested in watching that video, there will be a link down below in the description if you're interested to watch that. But this video is going to be making a box to hold those soap cupcakes, and you can see it sort of has a clear acetate top. And you can see there's, if I open this up, there's a little holder for the little soap cupcakes. So the mini ones, the icing that's sort of on the top of them just kind of holds them in place. And then there's a large cupcake to go with it as well. And for these boxes themselves, I'm making 3 of them, so I already have 2 of them made, and I just did them kind of in this this sort of pink and coral, black and white theme, and it actually comes from a paper pad called Meet Me in Paris. So this is just from Michael's or AC Moore or Joann's, I forget exactly where I got it, but it's a DCWV pack, and it's really pretty. It's got you know, again, lots of pinks and black and white, and there's some gold in here as well. It also has some tags that you can cut out, so I used those to make little tags to go with the boxes that somebody could give. And write in a to and from kind of on here, but I made these little tags to go along with the boxes as well, and just kind of stamped up an envelope with a bunch of stamps I had to go along with it. I happen to have some stamps that say Paris and an Eiffel Tower and a fleur-de-lis and things like that, so just made a couple of fun tags to go with the boxes themselves. Okay. So, let's get started. Okay, so I actually created an SVG cut file for this. And if you're interested in the cut file, I will have a link to my blog down below, and there will be a post for this project, and you can download the SVG cut file from there if you're interested. But there are 4 pieces to the project. There's a box bottom, a box top, and you can see it has sort of the cutout, the window where we'll put the acetate. It has the holder that's going to hold the cupcakes in place. And then the 4th piece is a piece that's we're going to glue the acetate on the inside of the box here, and to sort of cover that up so we don't have an ugly edge, there's a 4th piece that's going to go on top here to cover that. Okay, so we'll be using just the cutout pieces from the SVG cut file. You'll need a bone folder and a scoring plate and some liquid glue. And I've already gone ahead and scored the pieces. Now, my SVG cut file will cut out the shape, but it doesn't do the scoring. I'm a little bit new to creating SVG cut files, so I don't exactly know if I can actually do the scoring. But it's pretty easy. I mean, you can see where you'll need to score. It's just down this line. So I got out my scoring board, and I've already scored those things. And the hardest part probably is just scoring the little tabs, especially if you're using a light colored paper. It's just hard. It's just a little hard to see those lines, I think, when you're trying to score them on the scoreboard. I would suggest using liquid glue for this. Now, this is regular cardstock, from a pattern paper pack, so it's not it's relatively thick, but it's not chipboard thick or anything like that. The box ends up being pretty sturdy because we will glue some things together to kind of give it some extra strength. But you wouldn't want to use really thin paper for this. You want some paper that's going to have at least a little bit of strength to it. Okay, so I just folded over my little tabs. I'm going to use liquid glue, even though it's going to take a little longer here, but I wouldn't use dry adhesive here simply because there is some weight to the soaps, and you wouldn't want this coming apart on you. Okay, so just line up the tabs to the edge of the box. And glue them in place. And I'm using Dries Clear. The company is, or the brand is Art Glitter. Art Glitter Dries Clear Glue, that's what I'm using today. Alright, let's put that aside to firm up a little bit, dry. So let's go on to the holder. Now, when I cut out these two pieces, I used two 12 by 12 pieces of paper from that paper pack, and I used the same pattern for the bottom and the holder, and that way when I put this in place here, it's going to match the interior of the bottom of my box, so it'll look, nice and neat and sort of professional looking. Now this piece doesn't have little flanges on it. You just need to score and then fold the edges, and it's going to sit basically on the bottom of the box. But what I do, and this is one of the things that helps sort of firm up or provide a little extra strength, is put some glue on the sides here. Now, you can see I sort of folded these in. That way I don't get glue on the sides as I'm putting this in, and I'll leave the other two without glue on them. You can see what I'm doing here. And then I'll just sort of reach in and push those panels up against the sides so the glue gets in contact with them. And this is something that will help provide stability to the box, give it a little extra strength. And then, since I didn't put any glue on the sides, I'll now kind of bow out the side here, and I have a fine tip on my glue, so just add some glue to the side there, and then again kind of press them in place. Okay, let's let that dry, and let's move on to the top. So the top, I'm going to use this pattern here. I think that'll go well. So I'm going to score my fold lines. Now obviously you could decorate this box kind of however you want to. I've done mine fairly simply right now with just some ribbon and a bow. I thought about adding, and a little tag obviously that I made. I thought about maybe adding some flowers, some paper flowers to the top. I think that would look really pretty. But for right now I'm just keeping it a little more simple. Okay, once again, some glue on our little flanges. And just hold them in place for a second or two. Now, I've also already cut a piece of acetate. Now, that's not in the cut file itself. The cut file just contains the 4 pieces of paper that you saw me show earlier here. I did cut a piece of acetate that is, it's 4 by 6, but I cut it on the inside of a 4 by 6, if you get my meaning, so that it is slightly, ever so slightly, like a 1/16 of an inch smaller than 4 inches by 6 inches, and that's so it just fits in here nice and easy. It doesn't bow out or anything. Now, this acetate I have here has a little film on it that is always a pain to get off. Okay. And then just a little bit of glue on the inside of the lid here. And then our acetate sheet. Now you can see that you can kind of see the glue. Now eventually the glue will dry clear. So I mean you probably don't need to do this next step, but I think it just makes it look sort of neat and kind of professional. So this is meant to cover up that piece, and again I've cut it from the same pattern, so it's going to blend in here really well. So just a little bit of wet glue here. And again, this is slightly smaller than the inside of the lid, so you'll need to just wiggle it in place a little bit so it lines up with the the hole on the outside, so you don't get any overlap. But with wet glue, you'll have a few seconds to kind of put it in place. So that looks super nice, right? I mean, you can't see the acetate; it's nice and covered up. It just makes it look very professional, I think. So, okay. And the last thing since we have soap in here, is I did create a label. Now, I'm gonna, for any of my soap makers out there, this label is not compliant with the FDA rules here. It has the majority of the information, but I'm not selling this. These are going to be gifts to people. So don't zoom in on this and say my label isn't right. I do have the ingredients on here, and I have the contents, but I don't have a net weight on here. And it's not going, normally a label should go on the primary display panel. Oh, in fact, I'll have a link to my video about how to label handmade soap. I'll put that down in the description below. But technically this should go on, on the top of the box here, but I want to keep this window so it's nice and it's cool and looks nice. So my label I'm just going to put on the bottom of my box, so that people who actually get these gifts will still know what exactly is in the soap, in case they have any issues with, things that are in it, like allergies or stuff like that. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So I can put my big soap cupcake here, and then I can take my little ones and rest them in there. And the lid. Acetate, I can never keep acetate clean. I always, I have 2 cats, and I always end up with a stray cat hair on it, and it drives me crazy. Okay. It's stuck on now. Okay. So the lid is not super snug, but it's, you know, it slides on kind of easily. It's nice. So for these other ones, really all I did was added some ribbon around the top here and added a little bow. On this other one here, I did sort of the same thing, but I added kind of this string of pearls. So I think I'm probably going to do just something very similar here. Just take a ribbon and put it around the top here, again in those coordinating colors. So that's the last thing I'm going to do. So, okay, that's it. Kind of a quick video. If you're interested in the SVG cut file, then there's a link down below to my blog where you can download that for free. If you're interested in the soap making part of this project, I will have a link down below to the soap video. And if you're interested in trying to find information on how to label handmade soap, I will have a link to my labeling video as well. So that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.